We got a dead body.
What do you mean we have a dead body? Why is that like the first thing that pops out of you?
Switching, bro.
Wait, because it's on delay. That's a delay.
That's a long delay.
30 seconds. Yeah.
If anything, you can say thanks to Singapore's internet.
Yeah. You can say thanks to so.
Yo, Adam supplies, mother dude. Thank you for joining in the stream. And okay, let me just get the formalities out of the way. Hi Andrew, thanks for joining in. Okay, so hi everyone, this is CVGS. I'm Dempster, and we've got Leon and Cap over here.
What's up?
Yep, say hi. Thank you.
Hello.
First of all, pardon the camera quality for Leon and Cap because the connection is not as strong as before. So I'm literally streaming and playing music from the internet. So you need to pardon that. But yeah.
Yeah, and Debs is looking hard behind the scenes. So hello, Potato.
Yeah, we all are. Jello Potato, thank you for joining in. So
you just
today,
on actually.
Yeah, you just started. Don't worry, you made it for sure.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
You made it.
So today we're doing something a bit different in terms of the setup. You finally get to see all of us at once. How much we've aged over the days of hearing Vanguard related content, related updates.
I don't know about you though, but you know, because you know I'm now shaving a bit more regularly, so I'm a little bit more younger.
All right.
Let's check out my beautiful sexy red hair.
Yeah, check out my beautifully aging hair. I mean, sorry, lack of hair.
Nobody can see your beautiful red hair because it's in black.
No,
I can. It's kind of, it's maroon-ish. Isaiah's Shadow, thank you for joining in. Thank you very much. Right, so let's get to the main content of this today's stream, and that is the discussion and our so-called afterthoughts on whatever that has been released to us for the past 2 weeks for Vanguard. I honestly have no idea where to start because there's so many things to talk about. What do you guys think?
To me, while there is a lot to discuss at the moment right now, I feel that most of what we need to discuss now is kind of like, let's say not existent, like details has not been revealed yet because there's so much about Vanguard Overdress, right, that we still do not know, despite the fact that we're 2 weeks in to the wiki live streams so far. Understandably, because it's still in the early stages and it's like 9 weeks of this that we're going on, so we're gonna be seeing all 9 weeks of it just to see what we can expect come April/May for the English side. But we have a lot to talk about already actually. So
and yes, we have noticed Morisan's latest tweet as well.
Yes. In fact, if Dan will put up the share screen, or if my share screen is working still.
Let me look for the tweet first. Keita Mori, right?
Yeah, I actually have it here. If you could.
Oh, you do? Okay. Yeah, alright, just put up on show screen then.
Yeah, done already.
Okay.
I'm show screening. So. Yeah.
Are you? Let's see.
Yeah, hi.
Andrew says, "I'll be watching y'all while also watching Indonesian VTuber who's also a giant sim for other Japanese VTuber senpais." Okay. Thank you very much. It'd be great if you can just listen to our discussion. That's good enough for us. And as for the Indonesian VTuber, I have a feeling I know who you are talking about, but let's not put it out here. So you know the rule, I know the rule, we know the rules. We'll keep it at that. No mentions of other streamers in our streams, basically. Okay, anyway, Cap, do you have the share screen now? Or?
Yeah, share screen has been up actually the entire time. I just don't know.
Wait, hold on. Okay, sorry, my bad. I need to watch the
stream. I think you turn off the option, right?
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Right, there we go.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
blow it up so that you know others can see. So yes, we've seen the tweet from Keita Mori, the producer for.
Thanks to everyone's feedback, we have decided to bring forward the release of information regarding the Cardfight Vanguard gaming formats, including Overdress Nation cards and the premium format from 2021 April to an earlier date. Please keep a lookout for it. 2021 April release information.
Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah. So let's talk about this. So.
Yeah. Let's talk about this.
Never once, right? Have I actually like seen or heard a Bushido official actually address the English community, and let alone it's somebody that's also in charge of the Japanese side as well. Like
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is a very good thing because the Japanese producer is actually outreaching to the global community, and this has never been done before. It's unprecedented.
Like most of the time for even TCG, when it comes down to it, I have to say Bushido usually is the one that has this kind of thing going on for them. I don't remember much about hearing things from the individual Japanese management speaking directly to the English crowd because they have a different management altogether usually for this kind of stuff. It's two different
Exactly.
sectors.
Ah,
So they
exactly.
have their own
So
thing going on, so on and so forth.
indeed, it brings me back to the old days. Remember Leon? Remember when we were at a shop tournament that one time when Vanguard was like BTO 5 around there, and then how
Kidani
I
was
don't know
there.
who was it Kidani?
It was
Because I
Kidani,
thought it
Kidani.
was somebody. Kidani. Kidani actually was there at the shop tournament, right? And then he was
Uh-huh.
actually speaking to the tournament players,
Mhm.
and he addressed how the English version, right? What they're gonna do is they're gonna try and catch up to the Japanese side. So and
Oh.
well, we've seen that. So it's nice that was like I think the first time that we ever seen like somebody that's from the Japanese side actually address the English community in that way, because I think that was like a really like a really cool move from the company itself to actually cater to not just their Japanese side but also to the global audience, which they know that they have a market in.
That is correct. Even though it's not exactly new, but this is nice change in the world. Now that they are addressing it, so we'll be expecting great things coming for Overdress at this moment. Since they are actually taking into consideration of the English crowd, and now the difference isn't too far away as before. So I think this is a good time to go up. This is probably also why they want to listen to both sides, so that they can like put a balance between them.
Yeah,
Indeed, as well.
it's sort of to bridge the English speaking and Japanese speaking audience together so that they have a larger pool of opinions to work with, as well as more engagement between fans of different languages. And it's basically to try to break down the whole language barrier so that everyone can enjoy the contents that they're bringing out at all at the same time together.
Actually, Laura, yes, you might be right. Do we think that
Yep, we'll be able to reach a simultaneous release for Japanese English formats with Overdress. Okay, Leon, you start first.
Okay, so actually that might be pretty close. It might not be too far-fetched from what I'm seeing, but at the same time, there will definitely still be a bit of delays here and there, because I noticed there's a trend between when a TCG or OCG in this case, we put it in BPO terms, okay? Because it's essentially two separate different formats. Usually, when they have two different languages, the release for English will always be a bit behind, but because usually they need to do a bit of adjustments in terms of rarity or whatsoever. So we may not get something like a direct simultaneous release, but I think we're gonna get something that is quite close to that. It's just right behind. Especially the English side does. The English side does tend to have the tendency to release promo cards into the booster pack itself. For the Japanese side, you have to get the pack separately altogether. You have to like buy or something.
They do understand the fact that the way Japanese purchase cards, their market preferences are vastly different from the Western side, so they cannot do exactly the same thing as they did for the Japanese players. And at the same time, right, if you're considering things like starting from translations all the way down to implementing the translated text into the card's design, as well as printing them out, that one takes time as well. I mean, if with expert planning, right, I'm pretty sure they can do it simultaneously for both releases. But I feel that right now, right, a month difference is actually good enough, because 1 month alone wouldn't do a whole lot. It wouldn't change a whole lot to not just the meta, but to the reception from the community as well. So I think it won't like reach this like a one-to-one release like what Leon mentioned, but it will probably be close enough. Pretty much close enough.
I'd say that in my opinion, right, right now I think the difference between the 2 months, especially seeing the release dates for the start decks, right, is about a month
Yeah.
in between. I think that one is okay because we can never expect the English side to actually fully catch up with the Japanese side. So for translation reasons, and there's a lot more work to bring a Japanese game into English. So they need the month in order to do that. But for them to go from 6 months anniversary down to 2 months and now to 1, I think that's actually good enough as it is. But we won't see simultaneous release. I'm not confident that will be the case. But it is good that the English side, right, is getting that much closer, and I think this is as close as they'll be able to get with any sort of like simultaneous release or so. By the way, keep those questions coming. So because this is a discussion string not just among the three of us, but also with you guys as well. So feel free to join the conversation if you like as well. Right, honestly, I appreciate Mori-san listening to fans, but it also makes me worried that fan input will overwhelm the man. And mind you, fans outside Japanese can be pretty savage in my opinion. I don't know much about it though. Here's the thing that you need to realize. It may sound, this is a positive thing to say about the Japanese people, is that Japanese people are very thick-skinned. We should know for War 2.
Man, that burn was savage. I think Cap can be Tachikaze already. Savage roaster.
Well, as I said, so fans outside Japan can be pretty savage in my opinion. So
yeah, but don't forget the fact that savagery in fandoms, right, is not just limited to one language or one culture for the matter. Pretty much anything can be savage. It's how the fans, how the community sees it and deals with whatever changes that the company brings out. And it's also dependent on how the company deals, like how the company brings out, like how they manage everything. There are certain companies that have a lot of promises, but they end up not being able to put out promising content, and that causes the savagery that you've mentioned. But I'm pretty positive that Bushiroad is on the path to the right in the right direction. So I wouldn't discount the fact that there may be like one or two fans that will be unhappy, but generally as a whole in the community, I think it's getting better for sure.
Not to mention also Bushiroad will do whatever they want still, regardless of what most people say, because they already have they already have the plan in set and they are executing with plan A, like stay on target kind of thing. So
yeah, exactly.
So in terms of what like the fans can really influence, it's kind of like the competitive scene, like what gets hit and what gets hit in like the restriction list and what's not able being to use like 4 copies or cannot share in the same deck. So I think that'll be the only thing, and that'll be the only thing that fans will have to say off, and they usually come from the competitive side. Casual side wouldn't really say much because they enjoy the game for what it is, so they wouldn't complain whether if A is, as long as A is good, plan A is good, they're perfectly happy with continue to buying it. So as long as it remains fresh and interesting for them.
Yeah,
just to add on to what Cam has said, just to add on a bit, this also plays a part into why earlier the question by Sora, whether we get a simultaneous release, it's also because Japanese tournament scene also kind of works as a survey in this case. They are the ones that basically test the water of the cards, and then whatever happens to in terms of ruling and whatsoever, the kind of stuff like the ban list, restriction list, will also affect what comes out in the English side. This is why they cannot be actual simultaneous release, because they need to make sure certain things get balanced out. And when the tournament comes out, they will have a restriction list already sort of prepared for it, and they will prepare for the worst.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. One of the things is known that a lot of Japanese players are really good at abusing cards in terms of skill text-wise. This is why they usually have their own models first. It's like, if these guys can break the card, then chances are the English side will be able to do the same. It's this kind of thing.
Correct. So,
I agree.
Also, let me give a shout out to the guy that's running the Cardfight Vanguard English Twitter page, because this guy is literally on fire. Like, I appreciate his hard work in like doing all of this also. Like, whoever this person is, I want to meet him. I just want to shake his hands.
You'll never know, what if it's a girl?
The question.
Yep.
Yeah,
Sure,
keep,
okay,
keep those.
I'll read it. Do you think we could see a right deck restriction list, a way for Bushro to allow us to continue playing, to still play cards at 4 without hitting them directly? The right deck is a big boost of consistency. I can foresee some cards being good for the right deck. I don't think. I think the way that if they do any sort of restrictions for the right deck, right, is similar to what they've done with Gurgrit and Percival. Like you can only have like 4 copies of either Gurgrit or Percival, so it's like 2/2 or 3/1. I think in the similar case, right, to the right deck, right, the right deck is supplementary, so it's supposed to, as you say, give a big boost to consistency. So I think the restrictions that you see will probably be the same as we've seen throughout the entirety of Vanguard, rather. So they'll hit specific cards. This card cannot you cannot play 4 copies of this, or you can't use this as a first Vanguard, or this unit cannot share space with this unit, so there's only 4 copies at max, that kind of thing also.
Yeah, but don't forget, the right deck is currently only restricted to just the Overdress format. In the Overdress era, no other previous formats can have this right deck. So whatever card rulings that or card skills that they want to plan out for the Overdress era, right, I'm pretty sure that they have already taken this into consideration, that so that they don't see any potential abuse of whatever cards.
Yes, because
exactly.
Just to point out as to why this needs to be done to prevent things from happening in the seed, because due to how the right deck works, okay, not only it boosts consistency, it also means that I can run an entire deck with only 1 copy of the things I want to write to into the right deck, and everything else is just simply the rest of the deck. The rest of the cards it just supports the entire deck, and that is broken. As it's just straight up broken. Because imagine I'm playing Azo, but I'm assured every write up I will not miss Wonder Azo.
Yeah,
it's guaranteed. Then it takes up already 80% of the fun of the game when it's already bad enough as it is with just how Wonder Azo works. And can you imagine what is a bit more difficult to play now because of the choice restriction. But if you put this into premium, that just means the guy is just gonna kill you right there and then.
Thank God they're sticking into just Overdress.
Yeah,
and I think it's gonna stay there, honestly speaking, because I don't think this right deck will ever come to the V standard, or even the V premium, or even like the premium format, because there's so many things that can be pulled off, as mentioned. So Wonder Azo, I think currently is still restricted to only 1 copy, right? You can only have 1 copy or something like that.
Yeah, but imagine that 1 copy being in the right deck, if let's say it's restricted one.
Exactly, it defeats the purpose of of having to restrict the card in the first place, because the card is supposed to be only have 1 copy in the deck, and it's not meant to be a consistent ride, which was the original problem, and that's why they restricted Wonder Azo to 1. So exactly. Yeah, I mean, going that logic, right, and as far as I can think, right, I think this right deck will never ever come into premium format.
Yeah, unless something is done, but I don't think there's anything they can do about it, because you make things way too complicated for it. It will just be a convoluted mess. I'd rather you don't do it. If there's a new format that comes out, just come up with something.
Exactly.
So so I think we're going into I think we have no choice but to do a lot of speculation, especially in terms of what Overdress still has to offer. And I bring up the personal right marker, which was introduced in the previous yesterday's live stream. So what it does. Do you think that there's more markers like this? Like, remember, we saw in B series, we saw Force, we saw Axel, we saw Protect markers, and I think that one's pretty awesome. And the fact that each clan was assigned to, like, say, one of those three markers. But seeing this Persona right thing, right, and then they did mention that while they won't be bringing the Force, Axel, and Protect markers up, right, do you think that they will make other markers like Persona right, like other new ones? That way it can kind of like give like certain builds of the deck like a different approach. What do you guys think?
I'm pretty sure that would be the case, because Persona right is maybe not entirely a new icon, but that is also highly possible. Different kind of skill text upon Persona right is Sure. But at least based on what I understand is that the personal right has at least a fixed skill, which is during your turn your entire front row gets plus 10k kind of thing. So but whether how else it plays out will still be highly dependent. But again, the different marker would actually be possible, but that'll probably be mid-season, like somewhere closer to the end, like the boss roster will have something like that.
Okay, Andrew asks, time for 2 simple and Civil War questions. So which nations or nations are we going to invest in? And second question, whose side are you on, DF or Solemn, I believe?
Let me jump in on that second question because we do not know what that entails. So we're not sure if there's anything going on between the two or if it's a friendly thing whatsoever. So I think that question, we'd rather not comment. Although I don't know.
Sorry guys, I know what's going on.
Okay,
so let me just give a bit of context.
Okay. But unfortunately, just to put you on the safe side, right, we will not be answering the second question. But Leon, please give us the context so that we understand better what's going on.
So just Solomon and DF is having a clash of waifu thing going on.
Why am I not surprised? Why am I so not surprised?
Because they're like standing on 2 different nations. While DF, if I recall, if I'm correct me wrong and good. I know DF is standing obviously on Brent Gate, and then
Solemn is
standing on Megami's side. Stoichia. Yep.
Okay, I remember they were showing.
And they are having a screen. They are gonna fight actually on the field. So that was the kind of the question that Chenchu was posting.
I see.
First I'll definitely answer the first question for the Silver. Which nation are we gonna invest in? At least for me, no questions asked.
Gee, I think it's gonna be not Keta? Oh well. Okay, simply put, we're gonna invest in all of them. It's very simply put. In general, we're gonna invest in all of them because we have to for the content. But
what are you picking up? What are you?
Okay, for my case, right, I'm definitely picking up Brandgate. I personally like the changes. And since there's no more OTT, there's no reason for me to go back to Keta Sanctuary anymore. So I'm switching nations. I'm going to Brandgate for the very first time. Hopefully for the very last time as well. But if there's any other nations that I would like to invest in, right, it probably would be Stoichia. Both Brandgate and Stoichia. This will be my 2 go-to nations. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with them actually taking up Brandgate, like as much as I enjoy, as much as I enjoy Nova Grappler, as much as I enjoy my old buddy, my old friend Paperizer over here. In fact, his older art is here, so there you go. Like as much as I love this guy, like just this guy, every other evolution of him has been not really there. So
unfortunately,
but yeah, so I'm actually gonna have to end my friendship with Brandgate at this moment right now. I'll still look into it. I probably will like play the stuff that them built.
We can share boxes.
We
can finally share boxes.
I'm gonna go with Pale Moon side, so I'm
gonna
go
Dark
with
States.
Dark States.
So that's
for me.
So that's 4 out of 5 nations covered. Who wants to be the unlucky soul to get Keta Sanctuary?
Dragon Empire all the way. This whole staircase by Kagero.
I guess this could be a new season of me being a traitor, from switching from Keta Sanctuary to Brandgate. And Martha is right. OTT fans are gone. It's unfortunate. OTT was a very, very fun clan to play, but now that they've fused it on to nations, I really don't know what they're gonna do. I still have this weird feeling that they are going to invest a bit more on the paladin side, but we can only leave it to speculation for now until we get more information much later on.
Brandgate to all OTT players. Hey guys,
son of a.
Okay, just to put it out there, just to add on to Debson's words, right? I don't believe OTT is gone. I really, really believe that one of the reasons why Nation is now a Nation format is because precisely that things are not getting their boost. So what they want to do here is that giving the respective nation to build a variant of
what they want
within that nation. Yeah, correct.
Something.
So let's say I want to play Paladin, and then they will have a dedicated grade 3 that plays towards that style. Then there's another grade 3 that plays towards like OTT or Genesis, that kind of thing. And you had the potential to go. So to put them into S1. So there will be flexibility. Otherwise, it would have defeated the purpose of even having it as nations if they're not going to give you that at the beginning.
Yeah.
So I don't believe OTT and Genesis is dead. But
I really hope not. I hope not.
No. I don't think that's all also, which I think that's the potential ability because Counter Sanctuary, right, you can combine the abilities of both OTT and Genesis together as one. So that's something that we definitely look forward to as much as you.
Yeah, a lot more variants, hopefully. More diverse mechanics. Yeah. Adam here wants to play Lyrical Monasterio. Are we picking up that too?
Spoiler alert, actually, Adam. If you're itching to play Lyrical Monasterio, just play your current Bermuda Triangle deck because nothing's probably going to change.
It's like transforming a clan into a nation. They probably would have very overpowered cards in that case.
No. No, you know do you know the there's this animation that I came across. So let me see if I can find it here. So,
sure.
But it's like this kind of like represents maybe what happened to Bermuda Triangle and turned into Lyrical Monasterio. So hang on, let me see if I can find it. In meantime,
alright,
you guys want to shoot any?
Yeah. Potato staying with Dragon Empire. Okay, you can shake hands with Leon. No problem on that. You two can shake hands, shake the tails, whatever you guys want to shake. Andrew says OTT and Genesis are kind of dead because the deities are kind of gone in the lore. Lore-wise, yes, well that may be true, right? I do believe, there could still be some remnants of OTT and Genesis that lingers within Counter Sanctuary. That's how I feel like bits and pieces of whatever that's left of the clan come together as one nation, like what Leon said, so that they can introduce tons of basic yet diverse number of playstyles and mechanics that can cater to pretty much everyone. Dragon Empire and Brangate for me. I play Kagero, Narukami to extend Murakumo because Shirayuki not for meta art. And I'm gonna try out Brangate because of her. Hey guys! Alright, Sora says OTT and Genesis might actually fuse in one section. The diminished power can mean that they are now seen as the lower part of Counter Sanctuary society. Kenta gang all the way. Nice.
Kenta gang all the way.
Alright, Kat, what do you want to
I couldn't find what the thing was, right? No, I couldn't find the thing it was, but there was a old Flash video that I used to watch back in the day. It's kind of like a PI, but like it's kind of a PI. Then it's like I think the line when it's like the whole thing smells kind of fishier than big old fish that's been out in the sun with a bunch of other fish that have been inside a whale. So but that's why I was like looking.
You went to such great lengths just for a reference.
Yeah, I went to great lengths just to search for a reference.
You know, the moment that I was watching the screen and I was like, what is kind of looking for? Why is that dead whales?
Exactly. I was like, what exactly are you trying to find?
No, I was looking for an old Flash movie, but unfortunately I don't think I can find that anymore. I really tried to Google because I was looking for that specific line.
Oh my god.
But if you want to describe what happened to Bermuda Triangle going to Lyrical Monasterio, that's your line right there.
Basically, they took all the money from the actual whales in real life and just invested it, expanded to a nation.
It's like,
Potato says whale shark.
But in all seriousness, right, it's very obvious why they did.
Yeah. They still want to do that. Maybe like the once per year once per year obligatory Bermuda boost. But since there's not a clan anymore, hey, why not make it a nation?
Yeah, because you see, here's the thing. Because if they do that, that means other clans like easily Aquaforce can play it. Basically, it takes away the uniqueness of it being what it is, you know.
Yeah.
So what they call it? There's a term for it. There's a term for this exclusiveness. Yes. So when you have Bermuda as it is, then you have more excuse to print just Bermuda cards, so that people pay money for it because it's like I'm just purely Bermuda. I'm not part of this thing.
Exactly.
Who needs a sage when people pay money for this stuff?
Oh, Umi Lolly, thank you so much for joining. Yo, it's me, ya boy.
Hi, Umi Lolly. It's been so long. How are you?
How are you?
Yo.
Oh, my camera just lost focus.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of obvious why they did what they did for Bermuda Triangle lah. It really doesn't, to me, it really doesn't fit in any other nations. So they might as well make it a separate nation so that they can keep on the trend of boosting Bermuda, in quotation, Bermuda Triangle every single year with super overpowered boosts. Byron investing on either Dragon Empire, Stoic. Oh, okay, never mind then.
Okay. No.
Or Lyrical Monastery.
Can you imagine Lyrical Monastery? Can you imagine Bermuda Triangle with access to like Grand Blue stuff, to Neo Nectar stuff, to Mega Colony stuff? Oh, mermaids that can paralyze you with their kyun, whatever shit is. Sorry, I might do it.
Oh, actually, that talk alone kind of got me thinking. Before this whole nation fusion thing, right? Do you guys realize that like individual clans within the same nation have a bit of similarities with one another as well? Have you guys noticed?
I had that long time ago. I think I talked about this with you guys before. Was that every nation, right? Their clans within that nation, they essentially do something similar to one another, but they do it a bit differently. So, so you know where they are from. So you have a pretty good idea. For example, right? Easiest example, it's Kagero and Narukami.
Yeah. The Dragon Empire lah.
No, the Dragon Empire also we also have Tachikaze, we also have
Murakumo no Watama. Yeah.
But the more prominent one is just two. They're literally side by side. They are the same thing, but they just one is a target attack, and one is a target, and one is just throwing a bomb and see who gets it.
See if it hits. Yeah. Another great example of this would be Dark Zone, because Dark Zone clans, right? All three, okay, 4 if you consider Gear Chronicle. Actually no, scratch that. Take that out of the equation. Before inception of Gear Chronicle, all the Dark Zone clans had do something with the soul. So we've got Pale Moon calling units from the soul. We've got Sprite Brothers shoving things into the soul, and we've got Dark Irregulars literally stacking up the soul. And then comes Gear Chronicle. Oh, Grand Reset botang. Yeah, basically that's pretty much the best example I can give for nation similarity stuff. But now because nation restriction is literally a thing, so I don't know how they're gonna work with this. But it'll be pretty cool to see what's gonna happen from here. Kagero and Narukami in the past was so similar. Yeah, exactly. Like when it first came out.
I think that was the point of it, because when they went with the story law, whereby Royal Paladin, Shadow Paladin, and Kagero were all sealed.
Yeah.
So then they introduced Narukami, they introduced Go Paladins. They introduced Go Paladins, these two, right? They wanted to make sure that the clans itself, right, were similar to what Royal Paladin, Shadow Paladin, and what Kagero was as well. So
yeah,
as you say, it's actually pretty apt. Kagero and Narukami in the past were so similar because that was the point.
Yeah.
They only started differentiating from each other like once the break right thing happens. So because once the break right thing happens, right, especially with Gauntlet Buster and especially with Initial Dragon, or hell, even what Vowing Saber Dragon used to do as well. That was the differentiation between Kagero and Narukami at that point in time.
Actually, just to correct cap for a bit. Actually, at the start of Kagero and Narukami, they were
literally the
actually
same.
vastly different. No, they
were
really?
Not the same. Vastly different. I always thought they were the same.
They were vastly different because although in certain areas they're quite similar, like Draconic Death Sky, those kind of things are very close because they're kind of strong. But Narukami was very focused on frontal attacks. They were more high-powered in terms of how fast they basically.
Oh yeah. That's right.
In terms of, but they don't get to choose what they destroy.
Yeah.
Kagero, on the other hand, is a bit more precise with the destruction, but they are much slower in that area and slightly lower attack power.
Yes.
Sorry, Brendan. Brendan.
Sub from Tekong, no haha, bye guys. Don't get caught, Don't get caught by officer. Take your time only. Yeah. Okay. So I actually didn't know that Narukami and Kagero were vastly different when they first came out. But that's actually quite a good tidbit. Maybe it's just me because I wasn't in the area. I wasn't in the era before, but
I think that one is more towards because Leon actually plays the two clans, so he can make the distinction. Whereas from outside eyes, right, we couldn't make the distinction. In fact, from my memory, right, it was pretty similar at the start of it, especially with how Narukami was handled going into Kaizo Million Blood and all that. So it's only when we saw it's only when we saw Bowing Saber Dragon, we saw Ignition Dragon, we saw Gauntlet Buster, Descendant even actually. That's where the differentiation really kind of like
it starts to show itself a bit more. It's more prominent.
Clearer.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Actually, it's kind of funny back then, right? It's kind of funny back then that in Gold Paladin, right? Because they were not gonna boost Shadow and Royal in such a long time. So when it comes to a Gold, right, they had to make two distinct playstyles that satisfies both the players. It's like, okay, on one hand you've got Azel, which you can superior call from the top deck, a bit different from Royal Paladin, but still largely similar. And then we've got Spectral Duke. It's like, huh? Upper retire.
So Spectral Duke was originally a Shadow Paladin card. So because they realized that they made it a bit royalish in terms of how they built so far. So when they take out Spectral Duke, because Ren was still playing Gold Paladin, Shadow Paladin didn't exist, quote unquote lah. So they had to give it something that's more in line with Shadow Paladin.
Correct. Yeah, but in hindsight, right, on a casual player standpoint, you look at this. Okay, so Gold Paladin, what it does is basically you look at the top few cards of your deck, then you superior call. It's different from Royal Paladin and Shadow Paladin. Oh, I see. What about Spectre Duke? Error does not compute. All of a sudden, there's a vastly different playstyle that comes out.
Okay, before we move on with the subject, let me just add on to that. Actually, Spectral Duke still play within that category.
It does. It's just a retiring. It's just a retiring.
Yeah, it's just that it uses that calling to fuel its ability.
Yes,
but technically they're still playing the same thing, but
same but different. Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's. I think we missed quite a number of comments. Let's see.
So Andrew says, they just ask, is Chronojet in lore now like Decade? You know the meme is Chronojet's fault? No, Chronojet is the hero of Dark States. He united the clans together into the Dark States clan. He's more like...
He's more Chrono than Chrono is Chrono.
He's more Chrono than Chrono is Chrono.
And I think he's dead. And I actually think he's dead because he kamikaze against Gizeh based on what I understood from the law.
Yeah,
I think I think the hero is Chronojet, and it said that the hero died, so we think that that's Chronojet.
The Sub Nation will still exist. The Sub Nation will still exist, but Gear Chronicle lost the ability to time travel.
That's what explains why Strike is gone.
That's why the Zodiac all went to sleep. So.
Yeah, they also.
But that also means because of the Gear Chronicle losing the ability to time travel, Strike also loses its power because Strike is essentially like getting things from the future.
Yes. Since there's no future to take from anymore, then it pretty much doesn't exist already.
Yep.
You're gonna go by that line now. Umi Lodi says, you know, there's a theory in trailer that Keta Century's Bastion is from Shadow Paladin.
I mean, Keta Empire is all of the things combined, so it's not. It's a good shout to say that this unit is from Shadow Paladin or this unit is from OTT.
There will be like distinctions. That's what I feel. Yeah.
There's gonna be distinctions, right? And there's gonna be speculations of which one this belongs, especially between Royal and Shadow Paladin, and maybe OTT and Genesis even. So.
Yeah.
You just need to know whether you shoot yourself in the foot or just hit yourself in the camera. Then you know which
either way, it still hurts.
So I missed out a bit, but can I point out that order cards are being continued in this series, like it's shown in the Dragon Empire decklist? Yes, we did go in depth into it yesterday in our after stream thoughts also. But we've said in that video that order cards are vastly underutilized and
in V series.
Underused in V series, mainly because of the fact, right, that the window of it was way too late for it to become a significant thing.
And they were too focused on creating normal order to work with a very specific set of units instead of it being generic enough that everybody can use it, or at least more like how should I put it? It's like it's a fine print there. They tell you who can use it, but they don't say it. And then when you try to use it, it doesn't work. You're like, why? Because you can use it.
Yeah.
You can use it, but you know it's kind of more useful for this thing, you know.
Yeah, I mean you can, but you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
And it's not lost. They no longer require to use the time travel. That is getting too comfortable in their comfort zone.
No, I remember reading that.
I also remember reading. I also reading that.
Let's go to the website.
Let's
and
look at it.
double-check.
Yes, Cap. Use your share screen to the max.
No.
Let's see you type weird stuff.
Use your time lapse.
Yes, your team lab.
Like which?
Wish. では大丈夫.
Alright, here we go. Alright, hang on now. Let me see if we can find the 3000.
I'll just
law
search
here.
for
So-
search Gear Chronicle. Maybe that's easier.
Okay, yeah.
No, not here. As in like within the page.
Oh, within the pages.
Ah,
No, yeah, Dark States. Dark States.
okay.
The
The laws of Gear Chronicle and the relationship. Oh, Dark States mean. Oh, okay.
Dark
It's
States,
just basically that. But I'm pretty sure there's more within the law somewhere.
I think it was written somewhere, right, whereby they said that the Zodiac time beasts actually lost their abilities to time beat.
Yeah. Why did you stop
to
short
time
of
travel,
Tomari? Why? Oh, there we go.
I don't know. There's not much here. So.
I know.
I mean, I know you'd rather me stop here, you know? Like,
Yes. But you stopped like just short of Tomari. I'm like, I feel triggered. I feel over triggered.
I see what I can find with the law, so it's probably gonna take me a while. So.
I know it's somewhere. Like, I can't exactly remember where.
Yeah, same here. I kind of cannot remember where, so but I remember it's stated somewhere for sure.
Yeah.
But when you find it, we'll find it.
Yeah, like. Don't wait for me. Like
Tomari
just,
said. Tomari said to best girl. I agree. Okay lah. I mean, to be fair, right, there isn't really a lot to say about what the characters are. So just based on appearance alone, I do kind of like the design for Tomari. But if she turns out to be the unlikable biatch, then I'm sorry, man. I'm going somewhere else. Biatch. But then again, my instincts have pretty much been spot on lah. Like when I first got into Vanguard, I was like, I look at Misaki as like, that's the one, and then look what happened. So yeah, I have good prospects about Brandgate. Nani? What happened? What?
Somebody did a video on Overdress law, so.
Oh shoot, we forgot to copyright. What happened?
We can't play it for copyright reasons. We can't play it for
Obviously not. It was just a joke.
Yeah, but yeah, I think if you find a page where they talk more about the law, maybe it's a video or maybe it's a post somewhere. But yeah, it is said that the Zodiac time beast Gear Chronicle lost the ability to time travel.
Yeah, that's what I remember also.
It's not that they no longer require; it's they lost the ability and the Zodiac time beast went to sleep.
Andrew says, let us hope that Dragon Empire doesn't follow a certain Sun Dragon from a certain dead franchise. It's kind of funny because
honestly speaking, that is something that you have to expect with especially games similar to each other. They're definitely gonna see some references to that. So maybe not the exact odds over, but you will see references to it. So just like Easter eggs.
yeah,
So,
like this attack cannot be nullified.
Drive-by ability is by the law on the whole 3,000 years later. I think there is.
Shots fired.
You know, since this is supposed to be an Overdress discussion, right? Before we edit and talking about all these things, what is your thoughts about the upcoming start deck itself?
Oh, well, that's a huge one to talk about because there's literally so many things that are possible.
All right, let me just find the photo of all the cloud decks there. Oh,
You
actually,
find
no.
it for you?
Oh, there we go.
No, this is good. We can see the aces for each deck. So, all right. So for Dark States is Diablo's Violence Bruce.
Diablos
which it
of
looks like-
Fire's Bruce. It's like a competition of Mega Colony and Spy Brothers.
Yep, indeed.
He does.
And then for the other two, Magnolia and Seraph White,
Yep.
which
Seraph White
is
takes-
a Dimension Police unit.
Yeah, it takes
Because
on
I just noticed that this is actually
a giant handcuff.
It's a giant handcuff. She's wearing handcuffs.
She's literally a dimension police. But it does take a
I
little
guess
bit of Angel Feather vibes. Not sure if it's just me or not, but yeah. Hopefully they cover the cards from pre-D nations to post-D nations in premium format.
No, I don't
Cover
think
the cards. Premium format. We shall see. We shall see. Anna Kaiser, thank you for joining in. Says, I just hope that around set 2 we get to see the max design by Obari again. Just Aurora Princess archetype, but I severely miss my robot fix.
Trust. If we know Bushido, right, they definitely have a good working relationship with Obari, so you can expect some of the you can expect some of his artwork to be shown in Brandgate for sure.
Very likely Brand
Yeah,
Games.
like I really want to take out my Dai Kaiser deck again. And you know how much I miss playing the Legion Dai Kaiser deck? I love this so much. It was literally the be all and all deck, and it's like it doesn't even matter if I win or lose with this deck because it's just what it is. It's so
Yeah.
neutral ground.
Exactly.
I don't even care if you're a late Joker, bro. I don't even give a crap. I just go.
Andrew likes what he's shown. Yes, we like what we are shown.
Yes. otherwise the fear of social can abuse both Megiddo and Zoa. You have to choose one. You're gonna have to choose one.
My
Yes.
turn, go. You just change accordingly to what you want to do, you know? That kind of thing.
Exactly.
If you like it, if you want to go 99999, that's fine.
Apex
Okay,
creator bastion. Oh.
Okay, back to really answering Leon's question also. What do we think about the start deck so far? I mean, from the looks of it, right, we can expect a certain playstyle to it based on what we can assume that this was originating from. Like, you can look at like Nirvana, we can see, oh, it's probably very Kagero-ish. Sort of, also maybe some hint of Narukami in there. So I can perfectly expect a very Kagero-based play in Nirvana. So with Violence Bruce, not Batman. With Violence Bruce, right, I think I can expect a more Spike Brothers style of play because of the way that it looks. It looks like a Spike Brothers unit, kind of.
Yeah.
Bastion probably, Shadow Paladin, same thing. I think if we look at what they probably look at, I think the biggest mystery is Seraph White for Brandgate. So, like, what could
Seraph
it be?
White.
Judging by the handcuffs, I think maybe it's a Dimension Police style play. So, you know.
Most likely, yes. If you're talking about huge powers, but very hard to say also because for some reason I'm feeling that Tomari's deck, right, will not focus on power buffs just alone. I'm pretty sure there's other things from Stargate for that matter or Brandgate to come into this deck. Yes.
Actually, I feel that her deck, the Battle Princess, that actually might play out a bit closer to a Miracle Beauty like playstyle.
So-
Descending?
Because it's restanding and power, because that is the closest thing that Dimension Police has put to Nova in relation to that.
Yeah,
you
that's
think
what I was
about
thinking
it,
also. Yes.
So-
Mainly the girls, yeah. Very good.
Bit of a similar locking mechanic as Shadow says it out here. Quite
It's
close
like
to
Shadow,
a bit
yeah.
of locking mechanism. Yeah,
Mhm.
a bit like that. I feel that would be the closest thing
Yeah.
that we're gonna get out of Tomari's deck. And
Exactly.
this moment is wise.
Yeah. How well says
yeah,
the new
so-
Brandgate unit feels like Union vs XDP. I do agree. Although it's kind of sad
Yeah,
that the Union version literally never came to be. It was a manga only thing. But I think I like to think that they did like seep some designs into it, just to appease everyone.
Indeed, so as I was saying with the Brandgate units, right? Brandgate units, I think mostly the females that you would see in a Stargate, clan, right, were actually mostly came from Dimension Police because, as mentioned, Miracle Beauty, the operator girls as well, all yeah. So I think it may look like it's DP also, and I think Leon may be right on the ball with being a hybrid of Miracle Beauty plus maybe lock mechanic because of the handcuffs thing.
Yeah.
Also, not to mention that Nova also had a similar variant to that, which is the Hero deck. Does anyone remember Hero deck?
Yes. the hero deck.
Yes,
They do. Yeah, they do like prevent. They do force your opponents to guard with more cards than usual, or just straight up cannot intercept for grade 2s, things
Yes.
like that.
They also forces the opponent to target their own Vanguard so that their Vanguards don't get
Don't get hit.
touched
Yes.
in that kind of right,
Correct.
so that they can maintain field presence and then they throw it right back at you.
Yeah.
It's actually quite dangerous if you are not careful with the play.
There's quite a lot of possibilities for each nation, I feel. Like, I look at
That's right.
Magnolia now, right? Honestly speaking, right, other than a bit of great nature vibes, right, there's so many other possibilities because this is a combination of 5 clans from 2 different nations put into one. Was it 5? Yeah, 5. 5 nations
yeah.
from 5 clans from 2 nations into one. So there's so many different kinds of possibilities with Magnolia and whatever the Stoichia deck is.
Magnolia revives the dead.
Revives. Actually, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, right, if they do a bit of Great Nature and Grand Blue, for that
Yeah.
matter, and possibly a bit of position swapping from Aqua Force as well. And what else is there? Shitting up units from the deck, like unit.
Okay, I'll get to Umi Lolly because it leads to a question that I probably want to pose to you guys as well. Kaiser says, I mean, DP was already Universe with Gallup's emphasis on crit gain, and that showed just how impossible it is to incorporate those kind of skills into a game.
Yeah, that's true, that's true. I mean, it's good that it stays in the manga also, because there's too many clans to work with also even.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I actually wanted to say that there's way too many clans. Universe should never be an official clan in Vanguard because it's already convoluted enough as it is. And as we see with Overdress, completely 100% agree. The company agrees as well. And now we only have 5.
We have 5, yes.
Yeah, I still wonder for the longest time since I started playing Vanguard. So when did you introduce so many things? We're not gonna do some all the same thing. When the Vanguard first started, right, when I'm talking about like the first TDs and TD2, when there's like, oh, there is Tachikaze, you see Death Frags. Wow, then that's why then I see friends keep collecting all these cards and then only to go see the deck 2 years later. Yeah. That's why, okay, I expect Brother 8 had an earlier deck release in BT 3, 4 onwards. 3 and 4 onwards, if I recall. But things like Tachikaze don't really get anything until the next season king. They only have like parts and parcels of cards, just weird. Like,
okay. I'll go to Umi Dolly's message to her chat. So I can't wait to see what the other new abilities and other nations like Dragon Empire's Persona, right? Yeah, we're looking forward to that. But let's do a prediction right now and let's see whether if any of us got it right. So what do you think Overdress was when you first heard? Or what do you think Overdress will be when it gets revealed?
Alright, Leon, you go first.
Well, why me? Okay.
Why not?
No, okay. Okay, I need a bit more context. Let's tell a bit more context.
Okay, I'll go first because I originally, this is incorrect because seeing what Persona Right actually does, right? I don't think it's the case. I originally thought Overdress was a form of strike.
A form of
because
strike?
It makes sense. Because the word overdress, right, means that it's something that goes over other types of clothing. So that mentality was right? Overdress is like a not say strike specifically, but it's like an updated form. So, but seeing as how things have been revealed thus far, I don't think it's a strike. I think it's more of an ability. But then again, it could be a once per turn kind of like, or rather once per game ability. Overdress could be a once per turn kind of ability whereby something big happens.
Okay.
Something big happens.
Right. Okay, I see. I think Leon still probably needs a bit more time to think, so I'll go next. Okay, when I first heard Overdress, right, what literally came to my mind was Rockman crossover. I don't know why. And that kind of got me thinking, right? Like, what if I mean, we still have the main focus on Vanguard being the main thing, but what if all the rear guards, right, the rear guard circles, right, are actually bits and pieces of equipment that they can equip? And then when they have like a full set of equipments, or I don't know, 2 sets, 3 sets, or even 5 sets for that matter, Vanguard gets a skill corresponding to the number of cards on those circles. I mean, that could be one thing. That was what I had in mind when. Okay, that's what I had in mind when I first heard of Overdress. It's something like equipment-based gameplay, which could be vastly different from the previous Vanguards, but I mean, that was just speculation on my part, lah. And while Leon is still working out the stuff.
Leon is waiting because I think it's raining, so I think it's raining on this end.
Is it?
No. There's a helicopter that flew by because my house is close to a training camp, so.
What's funny is that you're wearing a Wayne Enterprises shirt some more. So, Mr. Wayne, are you expecting to fly out here?
Maybe. Depending where the back signal goes.
Finish the stream first, then you can fly off.
I bring up Bruce in this case, so Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne. Yeah, so okay, I already answered my piece, lah. So Leon, what about you?
Okay, what I felt about Overdress at the start was that actually no thoughts, brain empty.
No thoughts, brain empty.
Because here's the thing about me is that I try not to read too much into the information that's given too early, and I can definitely assure, at least the one thing I can say for sure, when the Persona Right was introduced, I didn't felt like it was the thing that they really want, that is really the main focus here. Right? definitely Overdress is another additional ability that would supposedly a final skill in terms as what Cap says, it's a once per game kind of thing. Because if you listen to the trailer, the main character Yu says something about this is like Overdress. So that means like it's definitely a form of a execution. It's an action. It's like final turn, but not final turn. That kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
Or so it could potentially be a skill that requires a certain amount of persona right to happen. And then it happens. Like if you like your other separatory is like if you have 3 or more overdress units in your soul. Something like that.
Yeah.
You activate the overdress or something like that.
Something like that. It's like the overdress condition is you have 2 or more of the same copy in your soul or something like that. Yeah, that could be a possibility actually.
Yeah, it's a possibility that it's a pretty skill for sure. I mean, because we really seen the start deck, like what's inside the start deck already. So like we don't see anything out of the ordinary like an extra.
On that note, do you think the extra copies of Trickstar would be like this card is also treated as blah? In this
something
context?
like that. This is exactly why I say the Trickstar would definitely play an important role into the deck, because you can't just tell me that there's this thing called a Trickstar and then you just have extra copies in the deck.
And then have it promoted, but then it's not actually the first Vanguard. Then have it promoted to hack, but then it's not actually the first Vanguard. The first Vanguard is the Sunrise Egg.
Exactly.
Correct. So it definitely will be something similar to an order card, but it's not an order card. Instead, it will definitely work in hand in hand with the overdress ability, which is definitely road to come. And it's gonna be pretty epic. It would add in more depth into how you would play your deck in the future, and also open to more options of whether you want to be an overdress focus deck or you want to be a personal right focus deck. Depending, if you want to be a personal right focus deck, then your chances are you'll be building towards the overdress stuff lah. Which is what I strongly believe.
I think so. So
we'll
go to test start of you. So Magnolia feels like Great Nature plus Neo Nectar.
Yeah, it does.
Kind of see that
with a wee bit of Grand Blue if you can catch it. A wee bit.
Wee bit Grand Blues.
Yeah.
Indeed. So
Andrew says, yeah.
I can still feel the traumatizing scars from when I was young rookie and Daikaiser was rapping. I still feel that to this day. So.
Yeah, I felt it from Leon. It's like, oh, okay.
Because of this guy over here. Because of this guy over here. So.
Not me. This one. The one all at the extreme top.
I don't know where I'm pointing at. So.
The extreme top.
What if Overdress Season 2 makes the characters in Seido no Asuka have their appearance haha impossible unless I don't know, because we still need to go through season 1. So.
Yeah, Seido no Asuka. I'm seriously hoping that they just keep it to the manga, so that they don't have any weird crossovers and end up having to do some other kind of PR just to make it happen. Like,
if anything, if you ask me, right, it should be like the following season after Overdress instead. Because right now, introductory, yes, it shouldn't be added too quickly. It will compromise everything. This should be the introductory to a new era, and anything that comes after it should be a slowly mixed in. Because previously what they did was that they are making the dough, and then here is some flour. Then they're supposed to slowly put in 1/3 of it and whoop. This is actually what happens.
Yeah.
So I hope that same mistake don't get committed, because it has been unfortunately a long history of what they've done. This is a sudden change again, and I hope they don't disappoint once again. Because it's gonna be very, very tiring to
Indeed, also. When I was expecting Isekai-esque feel to it, i.e. a transition from just a card game to a sports tabletop game, Vanguard will first and foremost will always be a card game. It's never gonna transition into a board game or esports type of game. So
or like literally going into Cray and being involved in a war. I don't think that's gonna happen. Yeah.
The last time that someone the last time that some Bushiroad did that with Black and Logic at it.
Yeah, I was gonna say if they wanted to do something like that, right? They did try it and it absolutely failed. It was called Luck and Logic.
Yes. Yeah, Andrew says when I heard of Overdress, I thought it was gonna be an idol anime of idols promoting the clan they played.
I honestly, yeah, I mean you can see that as like because of the phrasing of Overdressed. Because of the phrasing of Overdressed, so.
You know that isn't too far fetched of an idea considering what Bushiroad does in also.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean. Yeah, what they actually do, right? It's not that far-fetched of an idea, honestly.
Yeah,
it's actually not that far-fetched.
Adam cries in Dark Game Chronicles.
What's Dark Game Chronicles?
I mean, I'm interested if Bushiroad has finally figured out how to make order cards properly now that they can really play them easier thanks to the right decks. Yeah, hopefully we want every mechanic that they come up with, right, to really succeed. But it's gotta have the proper amount of time, right, and the proper amount of investment into making sure that it's a substantial thing, even on a smaller scale. Our biggest criticism, right, of Bushiroad, right, has always been like they always come up with these mechanics, right, but they don't time it well. It's always put in the middle of the season and it comes out of nowhere. So so like Overdress being like its own season kind of thing, that's a good way to introduce a new mechanic rather than midway through a season. And with order cards right now being confirmed to be in the Overdress series. The Overdress series means that it will have that capability to be expanded upon and even, be worth a damn, really. So I made them viable enough that they can be put into a deck also.
And just to add on as what Kev just said, this black habit actually started way earlier than we actually that most people had thought it had. Was actually when they start making cards for each clan as they progressively grows, and every time when they come up with something for the same clan, they do something with it, and then it was weird. Like it's understandable when a new clan shows up, they did it fine. Problem was that the same clan gets a different kind of boosting, and then it just got everything really awkward.
Yeah, case in point, Gear Chronicle.
No, Gear Chronicle wasn't the worst one. One of the earliest point of that, not counting Steel Dragon, was Last Card Reborn.
Oh yeah.
Boss. Yep.
Last Card Reborn, Tetra Burst Dragon.
Yeah.
one of the few more prominently stated out there kind of thing. And the transitioning between Narukami from Vermilion into Eradicator.
If you want a point of reference for like Bushiroad themselves actually just coming out with the ideas and introduce them mid-season, right? I want you to take a really good look at G-Guardians and tell me that doesn't seem like a kind of idea that they just come up with and then they just put it straight into the pipeline.
Yeah.
That was a curveball, bro. That was like a legit curveball. They didn't even do it in the mid of the season. They did it at the end of the season.
They did it at the end of the season, but still feel midway through, right?
They did it at the end of the episode.
And not to mention... Yeah,
they did it at the most crucial point of them all. It's so crucial. Epic, but no. The best out of
Okay.
I just want to then look at the boostings, right, for the clans that came out after the Fighters collection with all of the G Guardians coming out. It took so long for some of the clans, right, to even get their specialized G Guardians.
Yeah. The Fighters collection one was very generic from what I recall.
And most of the clans that didn't have their specialized one, right, were still using cards like the Great Elementals. Screw you, they're still using maybe not Madula, but they're still using all their base ones plus the Great Elemental ones also, which was the biggest problem of boosting 24 clans. Trying to figure out how to balance 24 clans, so because that was really a huge nightmare.
Correct. Okay, the problem with the introduction to G Guardians was not just it was in a mid-series, it was the end of the episode. It was that there was literally no build-up to it. No one was expecting this at all. And a lot of things they say, like, expect the unexpected, be pleasantly surprised with the new things that people come up with. On this for this particular example, right, it was the opposite. It was the complete opposite. What they did actually backfired on them pretty badly, from what I feel.
I get the idea of substitution because I think this was said by a streamer. So if the point to avert expectation, right, is to get the intended reaction, whether it's comedic or whether it's epic. But when you subvert expectation and it still doesn't land, it sucks even more.
Correct.
It's even worse.
Exactly.
That is G Guardians in a nutshell. That's really G Guardians in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Like, they want to make it very epic and hype, but turns out it's like the most stupidest thing that has ever been shown in anime, because it just came flipping out of nowhere. And it doesn't make sense because of the timing of when it came out as well. Not to mention that it's only Tri-3 that actually are using these units in the anime.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the whole entirety of Q4, you didn't even know that G Guardians was a thing. It's like,
you try that in Autonomon, that'll be cheating.
Yeah, this is straight up cheating.
This is straight up cheating, man. That's worse than IG's middle deck superior right or superior call, that kind of thing. It's even worse than that.
Yeah.
It's straight up
Like
cheating.
if you want subvert expectation and be hype, right? Look at IG calling Blaster Beat Spirit.
I mean that
That
one.
one is the good subverted expectation.
It is.
But
It
that
is.
was
That was a good
cheating.
But it was still
That was
cheating.
still
In terms of gameplay, yeah,
It's
that's
still
cheating.
cheating skills. It's still cheating skills, right? But after what we've gone through, right, it's so epic to see Blaster Beat Spirit come out into play. There are times whereby I watch back that video, right, and it still kind of get tears in my eyes just seeing that, because the music and everything and just Blaster Beat Spirit
That's
just
the delivery
coming out
lah.
of nowhere.
That one's literally.
It's just the
delivery.
delivery, right? Like that's a subverting of expectations, right? And it was very good. It became a very epic moment.
Yeah.
Three Guardians did not.
I think we need to move on from that.
Yeah, we
Okay,
need to.
so
I think
as you
we
were
talked
saying-
about the XP Guardians long enough. Alright, well, where were we just now?
We were at yeah.
Have we addressed the imagine if we get
Guardians.
an adaptation of Seidon Asuka instead of Overdress? Have we discussed that yet?
Honestly, no, we haven't discussed it yet.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't think that they will really do that because I think Overdress is I think they said it before. The anime, right, is actually going to be more generalized to a more mainstream audience. It's going to be a card game activator, but there's not going to be any focus on the fights. It's going to be focused more onto the story and what happens
Yeah.
in there. So
Okay, think
we're
about
not
it this way. Think about it this way. If we were to have an adaptation of Seidon or Asuka, right, we're gonna be. It's imperative that they have to include Union first, and including one more extra clan out of the huge cesspool of 24 clans. Really, I tell you, that would only show that right, Bushiroad never actually learned from the mistakes, and will still repeat the same problems over and over again. So Overdress, I still think is a better call than that. It would introducing Universe would not have changed a lot, but Overdress certainly did. That was my take on it.
We over adjusting to the shit.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, Andrew says, what's your favorite troll deck? His was Glandios, who actually run against Shiranui Rinne. Oh, because of a lot ability. Oh, yeah. Lord. That was a long ass time ago. Alright, do you guys have a favorite troll deck? Because I did. I sure do.
I'm trying to remember my troll moments. So
Okay.
No, not the moment. The deck. We're talking
The
about
deck,
the
the
deck.
deck.
We're not going to go.
Yeah.
It's situated with so.
Okay, Leon, what do you have?
I have way too many of these weird builds. One of the ones that I don't think anybody will ever hear me say or actually be put into action on screen. Maybe I did. I think I actually did. Was my Heroic Saga deck.
Aha, yeah.
Oh,
Heroic
and
Saga
even-
deck.
This two here has suffered the very existence of this deck because I made it work and nobody plays that stupid card. It was
Yeah.
so fun to play.
Sounds annoying.
It was
No,
a
there's been something
great-
else by the way.
Oh, okay.
it
Oh,
was
the.
the
Yeah. No, I'll explain to you guys. So
Okay, but if I really want to talk about a really good troll deck, I would say would be the Gear Chronicle, the Mystery Flare deck I built for Nobody Just Watch.
Yes, that was the
It's the-
best troll deck ever.
that is still the best troll deck ever. It's
Yeah.
it's the Gear Chronicle Legion deck
Mhm.
with Mystery
Yeah.
Flare in it. So.
But that
Yeah.
because I made Mystery Flare top off for 3 fights consecutive when we're doing the
I did
Premier
too as well.
League.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
I did
it was
too as
just
well
so
when we were
consistent.
testing.
it was.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
surprisingly
it's
consistent on video some more. We were thinking like, okay lah, maybe the first stake, right, we go to the point where we open the top 4 cards. If it's not all, okay, never mind, we just move on. Turns out that was the one. That was the cold opening.
Yes,
Yeah, that was the cold.
Yeah, and
Just all
we,
of us going
yeah,
in a small little room.
exactly. And not only did we manage to do it once, we did it again during the actual fight. So,
during the
I tell you, the gods were
Nobody
smiling on
plays
us, man.
And nobody
Yep.
plays it. So-
Yeah, nobody does, but when you pull it off, I tell you, oh, that satisfaction, woo!
Exactly.
Okay, for my case, right, I wouldn't be sure if it's really a troll deck per se, but I personally enjoyed playing the Olivia deck. Just because, right, the way to build the deck is so unorthodox. And in order to make it
Islander.
work, every single card in there was different. Like literally every single card. So I was playing with all sorts of weird ass skills, all sorts of weird ass combos, and it actually works. All just because I wanted Olivia to pop properly.
This is what they call the Highlander deck, right? It's a legit build. It's a Highlander
It is.
build,
It is
but
legit build, but I enjoy it because nobody plays it. No one really plays it.
Inconsistency.
Yeah, exactly. But it's consistent,
Okay,
you know. The inconsistency is consistent.
Do you know what's my biggest fear about your Olivier deck? Is
What?
if you actually play in a fight video and I have to make the deck profile for it. One of every copy in there. I'm not
Hey,
gonna
wanna-
have enough space to put everything in there.
Hey, I want to make a premium fight with Olivia.
Do it
You will
yourself.
die. I tell you, 2 pages worth of cards. Everything times one.
Okay, Eddie Kaiser says that that's not as weird as it sounds. I have a very similar thing that happened. I used to use Dai Kaiser for the first time. Opponent had non-ironically the same reaction like the opponent in the TV show. Okay, yeah.
Oh,
you know,
Dai
what's the
Kaiser,
funny thing
okay.
about the funny thing about Dai Kaiser when he first came out as the break right. I remember I was at the shop. Like one of the shop I always go to was that I mixed it up with I did about the morning and played great Dai Kaiser in it, and then I did the break right. And the guy was at 2 damage, and he was so confident he could take it. And so I was running on 3 crits at the time, and I swing him, and he thought he would leave that. Then I checked 2 crits. Because I only on 2 damage I can take this. First check crit, second check crit.
So he took
No,
5
no,
damage.
It wasn't 2 crit. No, it wasn't 2 crit. Sorry, it was 1 grade 3 and 1 crit. So when I first checked the grade 3, it's like, hey, I didn't got. Okay, translation is like,
Oh, okay.
luckily I did not choose to throw a
Alright,
target
so
out
it was
because
originally
was
to
bad.
5, but he went to 6 straight.
Then second check crit. Then it's like, okay, why did I not have?
You could have guarded anyway, the Grid would just slash it.
No, then he just throw for over guard lah, but he chose not to guard because he still assumed
He
that
confident,
he
2, 3. Okay lah,
Yeah.
2 crits. 3 crits, 2 damage, can lah, still can survive. They forgot about crit triggers at the time.
and you see.
Okay, Gabriel Trust
Okay,
says,
moving
I
on.
feel like they
Like,
can
for
add.
me,
What? Sorry? Oh, Cap, sorry, yeah.
Oh,
no, because I didn't say like if I have any troll decks.
Ah, yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't have any troll decks. Just really troll moments. One of my biggest troll moments was I had a Final Fantasy trading card game box. Don't you know this one? Final Fantasy trading card box. Inside is a Pokemon Black and White box, which is this one over here. So
The one that's about to fall
very
apart,
one over
yeah.
here. Yep, the one that's about to fall apart. Then inside you open the deck, then you see a Wise Watch sleeve from Saber. Then when you turn around the game, you see Vanguard.
Wait, wasn't
I
it
went
Yu-Gi-Oh
above and
sleeves?
beyond for. No, Yu-Gi-Oh sleeves was I put on the my
Iniman
Dimension
deck.
Please deck, which eventually came.
Oh,
Yeah, which eventually came in Nipman also. Yeah.
okay.
But yeah, but basically I mainly had troll moments. If you ask me for a troll deck, right, it either be at Nipman's because of how weird and convoluted they were.
Yeah.
Another troll deck that I would have will probably be my Regalias also. Because my Regalias, like, I think that was the first time I've ever hit 108k on Earth. Because I slotted in so many Regalias in there, right? And my opponent didn't catch, and then you see 108k.
Oh, Jello pla. Potato here, Saber.
Here's Saber.
I hear that I feel like they can add Union Burst now that there's Break-It. I honestly don't feel
I
like
don't
they should
think
do
so,
it.
yeah. I
No,
don't
they
think they
shouldn't.
would, and I probably feel that they shouldn't. It should still be just a
lore-wise,
manga
right.
exclusive lah.
Story law wise, right, Universe never made it into
The official canon.
The official canon. So it will always be the manga only. I think similar to how Vanguard used to be more brutal because when you take damage, you get shot. I think aspects of that, right? Aspects of
Yeah.
that is going to stay in the manga, in the manga verse as well. So Universe, right, being brought into official anime canon, most likely not going to happen, especially since they already have 3 awesome clans to work with. 4 skills in terms of like what they can do. So they can bring some aspects of it, but you will never see them addressed as like Universe style cards. You only will ever see them as like Brand Gate, basically speaking.
Speaking of Mystery Flare, I was using Genesis Witches at the shop Tony when Gears got their first TD. I had a good hand to defend, but I decided to take his Mystery Flare attack. Oof. That's all I can say. Oof.
Not only does the attack have to hit, but you also have the counter blast 4. So hopefully he didn't have counter blast 4. Otherwise, size large.
Yeah, but the number of dots at the end pretty much means that he did a Leon on me. Or on him.
Yeah.
I feel you, bro. I feel you. Blazable says while you talked about
much.
you guys pulling mystery flare skill, I can remember that one person in locals I would go to did manage to pull a mystery flare skill as well. Nice. See, the thing that's so memorable about mystery flare, right, is how rare it actually is to pull it off not say consistently, but more like it's a spectator sport. You don't get to see mystery flare getting the skill kicked off very often. Like not even on videos, not in card shops and all.
There are days, right, where I want to see like Cardfight Vanguard Premium Finals, right, and then the person finishes off the opponent with mystery flare.
Yeah.
There are days where I actually want to see that actually happen in
Exactly.
official.
Yeah, but no. We never saw that, and we never will. Thank God. To be honest, thank God. Yeah.
So,
It'd be cool though.
Anyways, we got sidetracked really, really bad in here. So, okay, anyway, back to what we were saying earlier. So, after the deck, right? Okay, now the only other major information they have yet to set up aside from the Overdress itself, what do you guys think that each of the clans is gonna get for their 100 million trigger, aka the Over trigger?
100 million. I think that will tie into whatever skill we can speculate for the nations. So
yeah, let's
I'm
do
not
the
sure.
speculation.
Okay. You have two sources to kind of, if you're going by the route that is going to be taking all of the nations into consideration, right? Then we have two primary sources to reference from: the Zero of Dragons as well as the Projected Dragons, because those two cards, right, are designed to incorporate skills from all the clans at once.
We can try that actually. We can go towards that direction for speculation.
Yep.
If I speculate the Dragon Empire one is that if you check it, you win the game.
That is too OP, man.
No.
That is too OP.
No, you check it, retire opponent's Vanguard. If you cannot write anything, then you win the game.
I mean, that could be one actually.
Okay.
That could be one. It could be like
I
combination of Drachma skill plus I don't know what else is there.
No, it'd be too much. Even for one-off chance, it's too much. I feel that its ability would definitely involve somewhere along the line of either removing your opponent's board or something to do with a bit more of a. It definitely will have something to do with the board removal.
Retire an opponent's entire field, maybe including the Vanguard. I don't know.
Leon, I finally see what you meant by whether if there's news on Overtrigger, because it literally says here with details on in next weekly Vanguard. It's been a week and we didn't get any news of this as well.
Maybe next week. Maybe next week.
Yeah, it will definitely.
Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon, because as mentioned at the start of it, so there's so many questions that we still have for Overtrigger that haven't been yet, and we still gotta wait another 7 more weeks in order to see what else we can get out of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the indication that each nation will actually have their own characteristics of the nation itself, and so to speculate, right, we really have to either consider whether if it's going to be clan specific, meaning that potentially every release of an Overtrigger is going to be a different type of clan specific ones, or we go by the Overtrigger is a universal thing. They're going to print the same Overtrigger and then for each nation over and over again. And it's gonna be a condensed version of what you would see in like the Zero of Dragons and in the Projected Dragons.
Okay, but since we are just speculating now, we're going by this direction, right? Now that we know like roughly what we feel the Dragon Empire's Overtrigger would be like. What about the other nations? What do you guys think?
Other nations also. Actually no. The biggest question should be how Storchia's Overtrigger is going to be.
Stoichia,
because that
right?
one, I think that one would be the biggest speculation right there, because it's a combination of two different nations together as one, Zoo as well as Magalanica. So how would that actually play out for their specialized Overtrigger?
When you check it, we send all your units, they all plus 10k, and then at the end of the battle, retire it, and for each card you retire for a card.
That could work. Yes, that could work. Or it could also be like, instead of restanding all your rear guards, right, you from your drop zone or from your deck, you call until you have the entire field filled up. I don't know how they're gonna do that. Plus power, and after they attack, they can swap positions with another card, which means every single rear guard can attack once. That could be one thing too. It will be like Lamigito lah, basically.
But what I just did, might be a bit too much.
Yeah, from the looks of it, yes. Restamp plus
Bit too
10k. Retire, draw one. Oh, great nature.
I just saw
Look,
this
watch
on-
me draw
I
my
just saw
entire
this on
deck.
the- I just saw this on the Vanguard Twitter, so now
US.
first day of announcements. USD for start deck all in caps. Y'all saying all of the above, but today can only have 4 polls options.
Thank you for love anyway. I love this guy, man. Whoever's managing this. Alright, Potato has to sleep now, so good night. Good night, have a good rest. College project.
Yeah,
all the best for your college project. Collage project? College? Collage? Collage project.
Collage.
Yeah.
Collage.
Collage project, yeah. Have a good rest and good luck in your project tomorrow. Okay, so that's Stoichia. What about the other nations? Let's continue with Keta Sanctuary. How about we go there? Keta Sanctuary.
Spirit. Superior.
Maybe like, I don't know. If they were really gonna combine every single clan specific into it, right? I would say maybe draw up to 5 cards from your deck. Then from your hand you call. I don't know. Call onto the entire field.
No, probably if it's a combination too, I'd say the best way to do so, right, would be look at the top 5 cards, choose one to add to your hand, one go into your soul, one call to regard circle.
Then
one
the
call
other
to
two,
regard
put
circle.
it at the top in any order. No, it makes sense
Then
really.
put it up in any order or put it at the bottom of the deck in any order.
Putting back, I feel that putting back wouldn't really make a lot of sense, if you ask me, because you've already attacked with the Vanguard anyway. So like it doesn't really change. Like
Oh no, I forgot Angel of Feather.
one
look
to your
at the
damage
top
zone.
Look at top 5 cards. Look at top 5 cards. Choose one to add to your hand, one to in your soul, one call to regard circle, one put into your damage zone. Put the rest at the bottom of the deck. Choose one card for your damage zone and put it at the bottom to the bottom of your deck.
Yeah, that could be a thing too. Yes.
Yeah, if you really want to incorporate everything, right, I think that is kind of like a very fair way.
Keta
of
Sanctuary,
really,
more like
doing
cheating
something
sanctuary. Because they have so many clans to work with.
But that feels so convoluted. It's like a long list of things that you
Can you imagine, right? Can you imagine the card, right?
All the clans, right, is them also.
Yeah, but can you imagine the card, right? The skill text, right, literally covers like 3/4 of the whole card.
Yeah, this is about to turn into Vanguard Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Oh no, you know what really coins my create cards? Okay, what about what are the other two? Dark States.
That's it, yes.
Dark States.
Take your entire deck and put into your
How to lose.
Then this turn
Outside.
you then this turn, right, you gain the number of creep based on the number of cards you put into.
But don't forget, no, once you no longer have cards in your deck, you lose. What's the point of having all the crits? Okay, for Dark States, right, I would say maybe something like, depending on the number of cards you have in your soul, or like you put every single rear guard into your soul, or drop zone into your soul, and then based on the number of cards you have in your soul, right, you can do a number of things. One of them is to call from the soul, and the other one is probably guard restriction at criticals, to, I don't know, to rear guards or something, or like things like that, yeah. What do you think, Cap? Since you plan to get Dark States.
So charge 20. No. I think I still can't get my head out of the Keta Empire one because of how seamless I was able to do everything. But yeah, I think it will revolve more into maybe it might be closer to what Spy Brothers does also. It's like over trigger. After you choose one of you choose 2 of your regards, bind them and call them, maybe something like that. Or maybe just stand them, and then after that, at the end of the battle, they go into the soul, that kind of thing.
You know what I feel that would have been a dark zone of practice is that you would take the top 10 of your deck and put it in soul, and then call as many units into the empty rearguard circle. Then they get power.
Yeah.
And after attacking, they go back in the soul. Who knows?
Yes, something like that. Because essentially it's still placed by the part of essentially majority of the dark states plans. Because they are kind of like that, with the exception of Gear Chronicle, who plays very good.
Yeah.
Otherwise, all of them actually plays a very similar style.
Correct. It's just Gear Chronicle that's different. But since Gear Chronicle technically, like, they don't have time travel anymore in a sense, it wouldn't make sense for dark states to have that kind of ability anymore. Like things
Time
like
leap.
binding, send
Yeah.
water on deck, or time leap for that matter. Yeah, so I feel like it goes back
No,
to the
binding,
original
yeah.
3 clans.
No, binding, yes, still, but I think it's more towards. I think it's more towards you won't see shenanigans like time leap in there, so.
Yeah,
Or even,
exactly.
like superior riding from the deck, so similar to what you
Yeah.
saw with Lost.
Mhm. Exactly. Okay, then for Brandgate, Brandgate, what do you guys think? Because this one's quite different from what I remember.
We stand the
100 million.
Vanguard. Plus 100 million. Your Vanguard
On
loses
top
all
of the
drives.
Your Vanguard loses all drive, but it gains but you can attack,
100
right? You restand your Vanguard, but you lose all drive.
Yeah.
That could be one thing,
Correct.
or you restand your entire field.
No, that'll be a bit too much.
No, yeah, just 3 more
Okay,
attacks.
That'll be really much.
Just 3 more attacks.
You,
You know?
you persona right, and then you proceed to check them.
Wow.
I don't want to
Indeed.
play anymore.
Doesn't mean that I made the right choice.
You and I are gonna enjoy Brandgate together. So
Yes.
you're not gonna be alone in for Brandgate.
Of course. Actually, like I said, we can. It's a lot easier to share boxes now.
Indeed, so it'll be a lot more easier to share boxes.
Mm.
Especially if the divide is what I predict it to be. So it might be, it definitely might be worthwhile to get more than one box for sure,
Mm.
and share it with Box Express as well.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
there's one last question that I will post to you guys as well because I brought up the start deck
Mm.
on my screen right now. So this is kind of standard because the Sentinels in all of the starter decks are all grade ones.
Mm.
They will never put the
The
draw
draw PG.
PGs. But that reminds me, there's another mechanic that they introduced midway through of V, and it's not completed. I think it's actually the Sentinel crit.
Oh yeah. The Sentinel crits. The
The
30k
Sentinel
card
crits.
ones.
So do you think we'll see them? Do you think that they will abandon it and go back to how Vanguard was, which is the PGs are grade 1, since it's coming from the Gize series or the original series as well? Would the PGs go back to grade 1s, or will we continue to see drop PGs and Sentinel crits?
I don't think that is something they drop. I think it's simply an alternative depending on play style. Because it doesn't really change. It's not really a mechanic introduction like say G-Guardian. Because it still functions as a normal critical with instead of a normal shielding, it has a 30k Sentinel shield.
Mm.
While the draw trigger shield, draw trigger PG, that's the draw trigger Sentinels, was already introduced at the
PG.
start. It was just introduced at the start. I don't think there was anything to drop to begin with. It's just they will probably print it separately, and just if you didn't get your PG from your last set, then you need this to complement it. If you don't want to use your grade 1 slots, essentially.
Indeed, also because while I can understand drop PGs coming back because that one was a huge improvement on the PG system. Actually, I found that to be like, oh, your drop triggers also a PG now. That's actually fantastic. It gives a lot of value to the PGs also. But once they started introducing cards like this, your Sentinel crits, then suddenly you can't get any of those drop PGs anymore because they're focusing on new players getting cards like this instead also.
Yeah.
Which is good. It has its uses, right? And balancing out with the PGs actually it adds a lot of nuances to deck building. But the way I see it, right, would they consider bringing back Sentinel crits?
Sentinel crits.
I think
Or,
I see
or do you think we will?
I feel that it's kind of highly unlikely because I don't know, like between Sentinel PGs and Sentinel crits, right? Most people will usually just go for the Sentinel PGs, be it grade 0 draw triggers or grade 1s for that matter, because most of the time you would rather want to have that instead of a 30k, which doesn't guarantee you can guard everything anyway. And to counter against an attack that's coming at you for 100 million and 13k, you probably would want to have a PG instead.
one of the things that we need to know that why the Sentinel crate was even a thing was because at the time there was a lot of cards was running around that says you cannot use your auto ability. That was one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons why they were trying to prevent it. So people started running the grade 1 version of the PGs and then run like one copy of the Crit Sentinel. Just so that in a case I run into a situation like this. Because essentially the 30k shield is still quite helpful in a lot of situations where that something that could have been cut off for only with just a Sentinel Crit, which just one card. From what it was supposed to be 2, now it's 1.
Yeah.
I mean PG is great and all, but it still requires a cost of dropping 1 card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's if you ask me.
Yeah, so it's still up in there whether we will see them. But that one I think is more closer to when we see information on the BTs than we would in the start decks also. But it is something to consider going forward because it really is kind of thought-provoking to kind of think of what will be brought over to Overdress. We originally speculated that all the cards might not be brought over, but they are going to be. So like what other aspects would bring over? So like this is stuff that we're going to have to find out once we get more into the later weeks of the Overdress streams also. Hopefully we get more information out of it very soon. So because while as much as I enjoy learning about these things, right, I wish that the information, like they have more information to give out so that it doesn't feel like a trickle. I think my biggest criticism of this week's stream was that it was short and we didn't get a lot of information out of it. So we got good information, but not a lot of information that we can really sink our teeth in.
Yeah.
Most of them, I think, and most of them were just them talking about the boosters. Then they after like a good half of it, and then they start just touching on the Overdress stuff, and then okay, bye.
Yeah, they probably didn't have a lot of information for this week anyway, lah. They're leaving the juicier ones for the subsequent weeks.
So
and from what we saw in the episode preview, I think because they put up an episode preview at the end of their stream also, it seems like we might not get a lot of information again the following week. So, but we'll see where we will go from there. So we are going to be here next Tuesday for sure with a live stream. Maybe not here, but we will let you guys know soon if any changes come out.
Yep. And then on, I think this would be a great time for us to end the stream right here because I think we have talked about pretty much everything that we can for the week already. We just have to wait for next week to come so that we have more information to share and discuss about. So, and I think 1.5 hours is a pretty good time for discussion streams. So, do you guys have anything any last words you guys want to say before we end the stream here?
Just let us know. So, yeah.
No, that includes you too also.
Okay. One thing that I'll add, right, is that the huge trigger for Dragon Empire is named Rona. So it's a reminder to everybody to wear your masks.
Dude.
Okay.
Okay, if you want to read, that one, right, the full text, you can actually read it as Homura no Miko Rona.
Homura no Miko Rona.
I'm not gonna lie, that was, when I saw the Rona, I was like, Corona? Wait, Miko. Oh! Homura no Miko Rona. Oh, snap. Everyone's like, alright, oh snap. He's right. Okay, I may be wrong because I'm not very well versed in Japanese myself, but if it is, oh my god. Okay.
No, I think we're making the inside reference as well.
Yeah, it's just an inside joke. Right? Don't take it to Mori-san himself, please. Please don't do that.
Please. Yeah. The man is our messiah. Yes. Please do not think him with stuff.
With things like this, yes. Whatever happens here stays here. All right, Leon. What about you? What else? Anything you want to say?
Okay. All I can say is, for everyone out there, don't think too much on the information that's currently being given out. Until things that's finally released, then you can start making noises lah. Because right now, don't be too in a hurry to sell off your stuff or whatever.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Because I noticed the secondary market, everybody's trying to get rid of their stuff. I understand the fear, but relax. I'm sure that the the premium cards will definitely still have much more users that for V, and they can still play a great part in your games.
Yeah,
So don't be in a hurry to sell that unless you're running out of space.
like us.
Yeah.
Like us. Debs, do me a favor.
Yes.
Read this line for me.
サプライ情報紹介
Well, it is for next week, yes.
for supplies, I think.
This is actually
Supply information, I think.
Supply information. So
Yeah. Wait, supply. Yeah, supply. It could be supply or surprise lah. I'm not too sure because they didn't. There's no su at the back. There's no like surprise. The supply.
yeah, there's no story at the back. So,
I think it's
so
just
maybe,
supply
yeah, maybe
information.
it is supply. So I think the only information is like what we will get from the start decks. So I think maybe you might see more of the start decks, like the contents inside of them.
Yeah.
At least maybe for Dark States and for Storshare also. Oh no, not Storshare. What's the
Keta?
Keta.
Keta
Mm.
Keta Sanctuary. So you might see
Keta
more details of what.
Oh no. Dragonic Overlord the Blaster.
With the amount of space that it has, with the amount of space that map has,
Hey, at least right. At least it's not Kettle Sanctuary.
Nah, that would be ridiculous if not the end. Like who names this stuff?
I don't know, man.
VTuber.
Kettle Sanctuary. Okay. I think for my side, I don't have anything else to say. We did talk about so many things a lot already for the past 1.5 hours. So I think this will be a good time for us to formally end the stream. So this Friday we will be doing another stream. But we will announce it probably tomorrow on Friday itself what we will be doing. But just heads up, we could be doing. I think we did mention that we will push back the Minecraft to Friday. So if you are still up for that, then we'll probably do that. Yes, DJIF will be doing Minecraft.
But feel free to continue joining us for all of our streams. And you're more, even if we're doing other things, you're more than welcome to ask about Vanguard stuff because we are willing and able to answer any questions they might have, or if you have any opinions. Like if you want to hang out with us, just feel free to do so whenever we are going live here on YouTube. So absolutely 100%. And if you want to talk to us even further, you can always join us on our socials as well.
Yep, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and our Discord. Join us there.
We're on right now, as you can see.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, last but not least, to subscribe to us, slam the like button for this stream if you want to see more, and ring the bell so that you can be notified of all of our updates. And lastly, if you want to be part of the CVGS membership and support this show directly, you can do so with the join button below. So more information in the description, and when you click on the join button, I don't know what Kev's doing going through Mori-san's Twitter, but okay, be nice to new friends, please. Yes. So we're gonna mirror what Mori said in the stream yesterday, and we're gonna say it right here. Be nice to new friends, please. That's what he said at the end of the show, and this is what we say in this show. Yeah. So most importantly, everyone, please stay safe. Stay safe because the whole pandemic right now is in a very very weird position. So we want everyone to be able to enjoy without compromising too much on health and safety. Sorry, I'm sorry you just got here, but we're about to end the stream right here. But you can watch the archives once it comes out, so don't worry about that. There's not a whole lot you miss. We're just basically discussing everything that we can for this week's stream, and probably the last week as well, and what to expect for the upcoming streams. Yes, so you can just catch up on the archives and see what we talked about. So with that said, thank you everyone for watching. We really appreciate each and every one of you joining the stream, whether you're still here or not. We really appreciate that. So thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you this Friday for our TGIF Games Day. Bye guys.
Bye.
Let me just put this back. Let me just stop the share screen. And you can see all of us in our full glory. Okay, bye guys. Bye.
Bye guys.
Bye.